somebody to hold without somebody. I just need that body. You're on fire. The way you dance with the devil tonight. You're on fire. You got that last dance look in your eyes. Just like a movie. Don't let your heart die. Don't let your heart die. You're on fire. The way you dance with the devil tonight. You're on fire. You've got that last dance look in your eyes. Today's a new day. I may be crazy, but I made my choice. Today is a new way. I may be crazy, but I heard those voices of nothing. I can't feel tonight. I won't be coming home. I'll be running with those children of the night. Children of the night, I hear you calling of the night. I hear you calling of the night. I'm making some new friends. Never know it, but they're just like me. And I'm starting some new trends. You never know it, but they're gonna live in children of the night. Children of the night. I can't live to children of the night. I won't be coming home. Children of the night. Those children of the night.
Hello, everybody. Hello. My mic stands all loose. Bear with me. How's everybody doing? Son of a gun. These mic stands, guys. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Welcome. Before we get started, I just want to say youneedacandles.com, guys. We've got a few of these left. Good old steak sauce. Actually, just got one of these. We got our Cochrane candles. Sorry about that glare. They smell really good. Yeah, we got those available, and keep your eye on the site, guys. We've got a lot of stuff coming right now. Sydney is in the laboratory as we speak, working on some really cool scents. So anyway, guys, I'm really excited tonight. We've got I want to say yearly. We skipped last year. It was crazy. It was a crazy year last year. But I had been doing yearly interviews with Piz, and it was just kind of like checking in on a friend and seeing what he's got going on, what he's up to, and they've been really fun. So this is the fourth one. So I don't know if this is going to be the final chapter or if possibly there'll be a new beginning after this. But tonight is live with Big Money Pizowell.
Children of the night.
Da-na-na.
Ooh, children of the night. I'm just going to be singing that all night. It's been in my head all night.
There you go. Piz, dude, thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the invite. Always good to catch up and shoot the bull with you.
Oh, absolutely, man. So I don't really have. Usually, I would kind of have things written down. I've got a few things I definitely want to talk about with you tonight, but I've been wanting to catch up and just seeing how you're doing and everything you got going on. I'd like to start with something a little bit current. in the Hannah house, it's been pandemonium because there was a trailer that got released today that we've already got it screenshotted on our phone. Can you tell people, are you able to talk to us a little bit about the Mutilator 2, or is a lot of it still under wraps and your involvement and that sort of thing?
No, I literally know about the same as everybody else, to be honest. Although I will make the announcement right now that I'm actually going to have Buddy back on my channel next week on the 11th to talk about all things Mutilator 2, and he may be open to spilling some more information about the movie.
Yeah.
So, but I know I didn't even read the script. I read my parts, but I didn't read the entire script because I still wanted it to be, a surprise when I watch it. I didn't want to spoil anything.
How did this happen? Was it an organic thing back in the day where the director saw you talking about the movie or that sort of thing? Or what can you remember about how all that turned out?
Yeah. So, so he saw my review of the Mutilator from back in the day, and he liked it so much he reached out, and we exchanged messages, and he sent me 2 posters, and we just kind of stayed in touch. And then he messaged me one day and just said, "Hey, I've written this role for you in Mutilator 2." And I said, "Okay, cool, let's do it." So pretty pretty flattering that he wrote a role for me in his movie. And so last April I went out to the set and hung out on the set for a few days and shot my stuff and saw how they made movies and met a bunch of cool people and had a blast.
Was that your first time ever being on like a movie set like that before?
Yeah, it's first time, and the crew, Buddy and the crew couldn't have been nicer, and they just they were super nice to me and welcoming, and just it was really cool. I mean, I got to hang out on the set one night during a kill. So I got to see them film a kill, and got to hang out for that. And at one point, Buddy was like, "Hey, come here," and he let me sit in front of the monitor and just watch them do their thing. So it was really cool.
So was there like on a project like this, does he just tell you, "Hey, look, got to keep this quiet. Don't be going around saying, 'Hey, I'm doing this,' or was it like a understood thing that, you know what I mean? Because you kept it. I feel like you kept it pretty quiet. Am I wrong about that?
I kept it. I didn't go out of my way to talk about it, but I mentioned it a few times. Not necessarily. There was sort of a, keep it on the down low kind of thing. But I just I mentioned it a couple of times, but I guess I was kind of vague about it.
Yeah.
So definitely there was. I mean, clearly I didn't go into too many specifics because so many people have been like, "You're in the trailer, holy crap!" So
I'm assuming it wasn't planned to have it drop the same day as Evil Dead Rise, you think?
probably not. No.
I've been showing it and telling as much people about it as possible because I was, it's not a big deal, but I was just like, damn it, I really wanted this to be Mutilator 2 Day, which was a shock to me when it got released today. I wasn't expecting the trailer, so I'm assuming you didn't know either.
Well, they had posted on the Mutilator 2's social medias that to keep an eye out for. There was going to be an announcement from Fangoria today, so I didn't know if that was going to be a trailer or if that was going to be like a release date or what. But we got the trailer.
So there is actually you said the Mutilator 2, what was it, a Twitter page? And so there's social media for the actual film people can follow?
Yeah, there's the Mutilator 2 on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. That's all of them I know. So yeah, just look up Mutilator 2 on your chosen social media platform, and I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah. Well, while we're on the topic of that, because a lot of my questions aren't necessarily about movies tonight, but did you happen to check out that Evil Dead Rise trailer today?
I did, yeah. I thought it looked good. I'm really excited about Evil Dead Rise. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. And I thought the trailer looked strong. And I mean, if this was intended to be like a direct to streaming thing and they've decided to take it theatrical instead, I mean, that's pretty good.
They also took Smile out of straight to streaming into the theater biz.
And look what Smile did. Yeah, look what Smile did. I don't know if Evil Dead Rise will do those kind of numbers, but I mean, it's got a pedigree, and it's it seemed like everybody on social media was really hyped for it today. So.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to ask you about, the other day you posted your theatrical one sheet posters, and you got the what was it? I'm sorry, it's Baroque Portfolio, right?
Yeah, Baroque Portfolios.
Did you buy that basically out of necessity? Had your poster collection started becoming, I don't know if out of control is the word, but you've really taken to the theatrical one sheets as of late, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been collecting those for, I don't know, year, maybe 2 years at this point, and I don't have the wall space, and B, I mean, to get a 27 by 41 poster frame is ridiculously expensive. And so instead of just kind of keeping them folded up in, somewhere, I was like, let me spend some money on this cool portfolio, and I'll put them in there, and that way I can, pull them out and display them and keep them in good condition and stuff. So
Yeah. How do you go about with getting one sheets? Is it more so tracking down posters that you love, or is it getting the deal and finding the deals on the internet for just any type of, well, maybe not any type of horror. I doubt you're getting a George of the Jungle, a one sheet of that, but you know what I mean? Like, is it more so finding the deal, or is it waiting to catch the one you want?
I think it's maybe a little bit of both. I mean, what I discovered with original one sheets is, I'll just tell you the whole story. I bought a poster, and it was not good. It was a reprint. It was really poor quality. It was fuzzy. Like, I've got it on the wall because it's it's for Silent Night, Deadly Night. And I mean, it's iconic, the art, but it's not a great reprint. It's, it's fuzzy. It's just not very good. So I mean, I literally said, okay, well, let me jump on eBay and see how much an original is. And I was shocked to discover that not the original like that, but the original for like the re-release of the movie was almost the same price as what I paid for the reprint.
Really?
And so I started looking at other originals, and I've discovered that, you can find, like my, let's see, what's a more recent one I got? Like my Fright Night 2 original video store poster. I think that was $15, $20. Neon Maniacs, I think, was only like $40.
Right.
So I mean, the originals aren't that much more expensive than the reprints, honestly. Now, if you want to get into like an original Halloween or original Friday the 13th or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I mean, those are ridiculously expensive. But like, Friday the 13th Part 2, I got it for a really good deal. I think the most expensive one I've got is The Burning. But I mean, I love that movie so much I didn't care. I was like, I gotta have it.
Yeah. Well, do you have any white whales right now? You've got a lot of the Friday the 13th ones, which are great.
I do. I got a lot. What's funny is like, and I don't know if it's anything to do with availability or not, but like an original Friday the 13th Part 3 is 3 or 4 times more expensive than a Part 4. Or even a Part 2. So I don't know what it is about the Part 3 that makes it a lot more expensive than the 2 or the 4. But it just is. I did get a well recently. I got an original video store poster for Slumber Party Massacre 3, which those are very, very rare. And when you find them, they're not in good shape. This one wasn't in great shape, but it was in the best shape that I've seen one in for sale.
Yeah.
And so I haggled with the guy a little bit, and I got him down a few bucks, and I couldn't say no.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah. What do you know what size it was? Was it a 27 by 40? Because sometimes you can get them in weird sizes.
The video store ones are, see, it's I usually refer people when people ask me about the original one sheets and, like, how to spot a fake or what to look for. There's a great article I always send them to, and that's what's helped me a lot too. Like, when you're looking for an original, you have to know that up to a certain date in the 80s, pretty much all of them were shipped folded, and all of them were 27 by 41. And then after that period, a lot of them started getting shipped rolled. A lot of them they switched to the 27 by 40. And like the video store posters are usually smaller than the original one sheets. So this one, I'd have to look it up, but it wasn't a 27 by 41. I'd have to go check it out, see what it was, but it wasn't a 27 by 41.
Now, here's the dilemma that I know people have when it comes to framing 27 by 41s. That extra inch is going to cost you a lot of money for a frame. Do you just gently bend to fit it, or do you just...
It depends. And you're right. That extra inch on the 27 by 41s will cost you, in some cases, crazy money. You can go to Walmart and get a 27 by 40 inch frame for $20 all day.
Mm-hmm.
That extra inch, you've got to get that sucker from like a frame store or
Right.
like a frame shop or something like that. And that extra inch is going to cost you considerably more. I've got a couple of 27 by 41 frames. I decided to go ahead and pay for a couple. One, I put my burning poster in, but there's one poster. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to make a little fold here. Nobody's ever going to notice. You can't tell. I'm never going to sell the thing. Just put a little fold here. Perfect fit in the 27 by 40. You can't tell a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've done that myself.
Yeah.
I had to get Sydney to help me. I literally, because I was just going to do one side, but she was like, "What are you doing? Like, you're not going to see the white rim around the top and the bottom." So we did a small fold on the top and the bottom. And it looks perfect. You'd never know,
Yeah.
Oh man. So, dude, I wanted to say, I was looking at your channel today. You have wow, somewhere in the vicinity of 55,000 subscribers.
Right.
And one thing I always admired about you was you never, I don't even want to say brag, but you never just go out of your way to tell people how many subs you got. How does it feel at this point now? Do you feel a sense of responsibility when you have that much of a following with your videos and the things you review, or when it's in terms of movies now, when you don't like something, do you feel any sense of responsibility at this point, or is it just business as usual like it was from the day you started?
I think from that respect, it's still kind of business as usual. Nothing's really changed. I mean, I think I just, just kind of do it the same as I did then. The responsibility, I mean, once you reach a certain level, you'll get companies that want to do like a sponsored video, or they want to pay you to promote an item, or they want to, and that's kind of where I feel the responsibility, because, and I don't want to name any names, but like I've had, companies offer me money to promote their stuff, and like I know their stuff is not very good, so I don't want to promote something that I know sucks. Or like there was a company who sent me some shirts that they wanted me to promote, and they're awful. They're awful. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not doing it. Do you want me to say I'll send these back to you, but I'm not going to promote them. So stuff like that. That's where I think I feel the responsibility now. And I mean, I kind of do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've been called wholesome in the past, or like what my content is considered wholesome. And I don't set out to do that, but I mean, I like it really hit me one day. I met a guy and his son in a comic book shop who watched our channel, and he thanked me so sincerely because he said, you know, thank you for, you know, he's like, I can watch your videos with my son. And like, this was a little boy, and I'll never forget the look on his face. He was looking up at Jeremy like he was looking at it like a movie star. And of course, Jeremy's just totally oblivious to any of that. But the little kid was just staring up at him with like mouth wide open, stunned, because he'd seen Jeremy on the computer. So I don't know. I kind of I don't know. It's not that I set out to do that, but or set out to try and be wholesome or whatever. I guess it just kind of I guess it's just natural. I'm the Mr. Rogers of YouTube. I need to get a red sweater, you know.
Won't you be my
Yeah.
subscriber?
Yeah, won't you be my subscriber? Now today we're going to talk about don't open till Christmas.
Well, Piz, like, do you what do you remember? Like, have you ever had like a milestone that you said, like, you said to yourself, like, son of a gun, I actually did this? Like, do you remember when you had that first moment? Because we watched a movie, this and a few others, and a lot of them were very, very low subscriber numbers. It was like 100, and like they just thought that was the most incredible thing.
Two things. When I hit 700 subscribers, I remember thinking like, wow, that's 700 people have clicked that button. Wow, that's, you know, like I still think back on that 700 number, and I'm kind of like, yeah, that kind of felt like a milestone, even though I didn't intend it to be a milestone. But I remember like being like, wow, 700 people. But you know what? Here's the story of my life.
Okay.
If everything that's been successful in my life, or that's had any kind of longevity, I have dove into it. I've taken the opportunity with no forethought, no planning. I've just, I don't want to say I've fallen into it, but I just kind of allowed it to happen. Most things in my life, if I've really planned and studied and gone out of my way to achieve, it hasn't happened, or it hasn't happened the way that I thought it would. But like, you know, with YouTube, with various other things in my life, it's like I just kind of walked into it, and here we are all these years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the story of my life.
There you go. When it comes to YouTube too, is there anybody now that you can think of, maybe up and coming, or just any sort of other kind of YouTube channels, horror related, movie related or not, that inspires you and you've got your eye on?
I like what Chris is doing at Slasher Home Video. I like what he's doing.
Excuse me.
And you know, really, I don't watch a lot of YouTube, honestly.
Mhm.
I kind of don't. But like, you know, when I see, if I subscribe to your channel, I watch most, if not all, of everything you do. I may not comment on everything, but I thumb up and I watch just about everything. So like what you do, what Nick does, you know, what Chris at Slasher Home Video does, you know. Um, I watch it and I like it. Occasionally I'll comment, but not all the time. But you know, you guys, you know, my buddy Garrett from Born to Be Rad, you know, I know I wasn't the only one, but like I was on him for years. Man, you need to start your own channel. You need to do your own thing. Start your own channel. Do your own thing. And and then finally he did. And like he's got like 1,000 subscribers or something now.
He's about to hit
So, I
2,
mean,
I think.
oh well, I mean, that's awesome.
He's a madman.
He needed I was gonna say he needed a push. He needed several pushes, but I mean he's, you know, yeah, I'm happy for him.
Yeah. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about was obviously watching your channel for a long time. I feel like over the last year, maybe 2, you've really started to I don't even want to say branch out is necessarily the word, but you've really started to do different types of videos. The going and getting garbage movies from Dollar General and watching those. A lot of the food stuff. Well, the food stuff I think you've been doing for a while, but you've been doing stuff with Jeremy. I want to talk about the stuff with Jeremy today, but doing these other kinds of ideas, even I thought it was a smart investment because I kept my eye on those videos and they were massively successful. 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views at this point, where you bought the really bad Myers masks.
yeah.
And like I remember thinking to myself, what he really bought those. And I said, those are gonna do good. I think those were actually a good investment. And those videos probably, and they did really well for you. Where did that kind of stuff come from? Was it for your own sake to just shake it up for yourself, or was it what inspired all that?
I like the food and the drink videos. That's definitely all Jeremy. That's all Jeremy. And that's gotten to a point now where people send us stuff like, you know, here, try this, try that. You know what I mean? Like, here's this exotic drink, try it. Or, you know, here's this weird flavor candy or chips, you know, try that with Jeremy. Because they want to see our reactions, I guess. So that's all Jeremy. The mask stuff, I think that was just kind of like, you know, and I seem to recall people in the comments of like my good mask videos saying, you should you should look at some of these bad ones. And what's funny is, you know, once I did, I mean, like, there's so many bad ones, and like there's so many that are just out and out. I don't know how they get away with, you know, like, here's the mask you're going to buy. It's $20. It looks just like the one from part 1. And then you get it home and it's like it's a mess. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, look, but they're cheap. And I know they'll produce a good laugh from people. So
What about, you know, in terms of like, have you taken a little bit of a back seat on buying a lot of the NECAs?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that again it's space. I just don't really have the space down here for very much else. So I have to be very selective when it comes to figures and stuff. And Outback Steakhouse at 11. Hey,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh out loud.
hey, if you want to roll with me, you're going to be eating steak for breakfast. If you want to roll with me, you're going to be eating steak for breakfast.
You should see what time he eats actual breakfast.
Exactly. But yeah, space is it. I think that's kind of with any collector. I mean, that's probably something you're dealing with too, I'm sure. I mean, you just kind of run out of space. You run out of wall space for posters. You run out of space and like, you don't want, I'll look around at my stuff sometimes and I'll go, it's too cluttered. You know, maybe it's a little too, there needs to be room to breathe.
Mm.
So, and especially when it comes to physical media, um, I'm at the point where I'm just bursting at the seams and like I'm having to take, you know, I'm having to take stuff. It's like if I'm never going to watch this again, it's coming off the shelf so I can make room for something else.
Do you always have a constant stack of movies that you just have to
Yes.
like file?
Yes.
That's why I
Yes.
have a coffee table, simply just for that, to stack unfiled movies.
Yes. I've got multiple stacks. Um, so yeah, at this point, like I'm just going through and if I've got an updated edition, the old edition comes off the shelf. If I've got something on there that like I'm never going to watch again, it comes off the shelf to make room for new stuff. So I did recently buy some extra shelf space, so that'll help a little bit. But yeah, that's
And
that's the bane of all collectors is just having enough space.
how are you with new releases that come out today? Was there a time where it was basically as it was just coming out, you were picking it up? Or have you taken a little bit of a back seat on that, maybe? Or
It depends. It depends on what it is. Like some stuff, I mean, I've just gotta, like that Terrifier 2 steelbook, I just had to have it. I'll find room for it.
excuse me. Yeah.
Um, I recently, yeah, I said, "What the hell?" And I bought the Halloween Ends 4K. I'll find a place for it. Um, so yeah, but some stuff I just kind of like, and then I kind of think like, okay, well, am I gonna watch this? How many times am I gonna watch this movie? You know,
Right.
so or like, well, maybe I'll watch it on Prime or somewhere, and if I like it, then I'll get that physical media release to keep in the collection.
How are you now with like? Can you kind of map me out like a 2 or 3 week period in your life? How often do you try to watch new movies coming out and balancing that with whatever your comfort stuff is? Do you make it an effort to do that, or is it just fly by the seat of your pants day to day?
The comfort stuff actually kind of takes a back seat for, like stuff that I want to review or stuff that I've been sent to review or, doing something different, a video with Jeremy or something. So the comfort stuff kind of takes a back seat. I mean, I did a lot of comfort watching over Halloween last year and over Christmas last year. So I think I got a lot of my comfort watching in then. But yeah, a lot of my time is spent with like, stuff I want to review or stuff that I've been sent to review or you know,
Well, what is your
stuff with Jeremy.
what can you tell me one or two of your just comfort films that, and it doesn't even have to be horror. I mean, it don't have to be a movie, it could be a television show. What is it you put on when you just need to relax?
Mm. Hmm. Gosh. Guess it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Or like, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put on the movie with the commentary. If like, cause like I've been down here cleaning a little bit because I'm gonna get a new couch for down here. So I've been down here cleaning and like I'll put on a movie with like the audio commentary going. Like I watched The Invisible Maniac with the audio commentary in the background while I was cleaning the other day. Um, and that to me is kind of relaxing, actually. You know.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I mean, like a comfort movie, like of course uh in December, like I watched Black Christmas twice in December.
Hmm.
Just because, yeah, just cause. Um, so yeah, I got my comfort watching in.
So I wanted to ask you about. My wife wanted to make sure I asked about this because she's fascinated by it. Um, the Jeremy stuff is obviously. Would you almost? This is my question, but I wanted to preface it with this. Do you almost think that the Jeremy stuff has brought in or have you noticed maybe that has brought in a new audience as well, or have you gotten people that have found your channel through the Jeremy videos?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure that a lot of people have found the channel through the Jeremy videos. And I think what Jeremy has done for my channel, especially with people who had already been part of the channel or who had been familiar with the channel or whatever, is it just, I don't know, it kind of added a new element, and it made the channel, or maybe it made it more endearing or something, like I think people get excited when it's a Jeremy thing, when he's involved. Um, well, Joe Jack, there you go. There's proof. So yeah, Jeremy's definitely added a whole new dimension to what I do, or to what we do. And yeah, the Jeremy vids are they're just so fun to do, because like you can't predict what he's going to say or do. You kind of can to a certain extent, but then there's a part of him that he knows he's on camera, and he knows that people are going to be watching. So I think he hams it up a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, we've seen little glimpses. Sometimes you'll leave a few seconds in on some of the Jeremy videos where the camera's quote unquote stopped, the recording's done. When he gets done with a video, especially let's say where there's food involved, and like after the video, he gets to go eat. Right as the video cuts off, can you kind of take us behind the scenes on that? Like, what is Jeremy's next 15, 20 seconds as soon as you say take care, peace, and you got to get up to go? Is he running out the door? What's he doing?
He is out of there. He's out of there. And if he wants to go eat, he is out as quick as he can. He's upstairs putting on his Australia cap and his jacket, and then he's ready to go. But yeah, when we're done, when Jeremy is done with something, he is done. It doesn't matter if it's a video, if we're out somewhere having dinner. When he's finished, he's ready to go. There's no lingering. Like, he's gotten better about it. He'll linger for a little bit, but then he'll start giving me those looks, and he'll give me that kind of that face. And if I don't read him, then ready to go home. But yeah, that's just who he is. When he's done, he's done. So when we end a video, when we say peace, he's up and he's gone, and he'll be gone before I can even stop the camera or stop the recording or anything. He's just out of there, lightning fast.
Now, do you ever have to wrangle him to do it? Is he ever like, I don't want to record right now, I don't feel like it? Do you ever have to wrangle him?
I have to. It has to fall into his schedule, as long as it's not going to encroach on his shows or his bath time. He's pretty cool with doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes the videos too, because he knows we're going to be, I think he kind of understands if we're going to shoot a video, and I'll tell him sometimes before, like, we're going to do an unboxing video, or we're going to do, a drink video, and he'll remind me, like, if we've not done it when he thinks we should have, he'll, do the unboxing video. So, as long as it kind of falls into his schedule, I think he's never said no.
Has he ever came up to you with an idea to do some sort of video, or is it mostly the stuff that you already do that he's like, let's do this, let's do a commentary on this?
He wants to do the commentaries. Like, he wanted to do commentaries in October, of course, but we just couldn't. It just didn't work out. But he wants to do a Friday the 13th Part 4 commentary next Friday. So we're gonna make that one happen. So he comes with those ideas to do commentaries.
So Piz being on YouTube now since 2009, man. Um, are you happy with the platform nowadays? It seems like in the last 5, 6 years, there's been all kinds of ups and downs. We've had I believe it was called the adpocalypse and things like that. Then the next thing it was, people were saying, "Well, this is it for me, guys. I gotta leave." When there was something about uh can't make videos for quote unquote kids or something,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah,
do
yeah.
you think there's another storm coming, or do you think we finally brace through the majority of it and now it's smooth sailing with the platform?
I mean, they're always changing things, and even if it doesn't need to be fixed, they're still fixing it. That's kind of been the problem with the platform. If it's not broken, they'll fix it anyway, and then in fixing it, they'll break it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I can't really complain. I mean, I can't really complain about the platform. I mean, the platform has done so much for me, and made it possible to hang out with people like you, and meet people like you in IRL. So it's really brought it's brought treasures
Hmm.
to me. So
And you did a video talking about it, but if you can just elaborate a little bit more, how great of an experience was Scarefest for not only Jeremy, but you kind of living through Jeremy with that experience?
oh man, that was I mean, Scarefest really bent over backwards for Jeremy. So I mean, I'll always be indebted to Scarefest. Um, they went above and beyond. And so yeah, so Jeremy being able to go to his first con, and I was concerned. I didn't know, would he be overwhelmed by everything? Would he try to run up and hug, like Robert England, and get tackled by security? Like I had no idea what to expect. So with Jeremy, you kind of have to, um, like I remember us having the conversation in the car. We were scrolling through all the Scarefest people. He was like, "Want to meet that one? Want to meet that?" He wanted to meet everybody, pretty much.
Yeah.
And just kind of coaching him, like, it's going to be loud, and there's going to be a lot of people, and you can't just run up and hug people, and you've got to respect people's their personal space, and just stay with me, and everything will be fine. So sometimes a little coaching will help with him, but he did so well. He did so well, and he just had a smile on his face the whole time. He got to meet everybody he wanted to meet. They were all super nice to him. I mean, he got to go to the front of the line to meet Robert England. The
Mm.
front of the line, and didn't ask for that. Didn't ask for that at all. And they let him go right to the front of the line. It was funny too, because like this was the time, like they had he was like Robert England was in like a tent thing, and they walked us to right where you enter the tent, and like Robert England was just standing around in there. So Jeremy just sees Robert England and just starts toward him. Like I grab him, like, oh, wait, come back. And Robert England kind of turned around. He looked at Jeremy and he went, and he had the glove on, and he was like, So I didn't see Jeremy's face, but I'm sure he was grinning ear to ear. And got to meet him. Or well, I can't say meet him, but if you've ever done a photo op, it's wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But it was kind of funny too, where we got the picture taken, and the picture turned out perfectly, just perfectly. And like I started to walk away because I've done this rodeo before. And like I turned, and Jeremy was still standing there next to Robert, like looking at him. I was like, "Come on, Bubba, we gotta go, we gotta go." So he wasn't talking to him, which I thought was interesting because usually he just talk. I think he was just kind of starstruck that he was standing there next to Robert England, right?
Uh-huh.
And So I was like, come on, bud, we gotta go. And but yeah, we got out and we stood outside the little thing, and Jeremy was just so happy. So it was very tiring. I didn't know how tired I was until we got back to the hotel, and I was just destroyed.
Mm.
But I mean, it was very expensive. If you've gone to a convention, it's very expensive. But it was worth every penny, because Jeremy just had the time of his life, and he wants to go back. He's talked about he was talking about wanting to go back this year already, and like his wish list is Tony Todd, Barbara Crampton, PJ Souls. Who else did he mention? He's already got a list of people like he wants to be there this year, so he can meet them too. But yeah, so I guess I've turned him into a convention person
Junkie.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, dude. That's so good. I know we were all hoping he was going to have a great time. So
No, he
that's
did.
great. I gotta say, Scarefest was I gave Texas Frightmare a little bit of grief last year, but they've got a new venue, a big convention center, big enough to have John Carpenter there. But I wanted to say, like, Texas Scarefest was the real deal, and it's probably the best convention I've been to so far. So
They always have done a good job of being organized and being having enough space for people, and like the guy and his wife who run it, they work with handicapped people, so they know, if you're going to have aisles, the aisle needs to be big enough in case you've got somebody with a wheelchair coming through. So they think about, I think they think about the conventions a little differently than others do. So they think about, is it accessible to handicapped people? Which, like, I've been to those where you're literally, to walk down an aisle anywhere, you're rubbing up against everybody. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And like, I knew Jeremy just, I don't know how Jeremy if Jeremy would handle. I think he'd do all right with it, but I knew that Scarefest would be have the greatest potential to be a great experience for him, because of how well organized it always is.
Good. So I got a couple more questions, but guys, if you want to start asking Piz anything, you could start. Piz, I wanted to see. I don't recall if you did a best of last year, but you don't have to give me a list by any stretch. But looking back at 2022, what do you take away as some of the best films that you saw?
There's actually a lot. I'm gonna do a top 10 live stream of my top 10 favorite movies. I don't know when. Maybe this weekend. I think maybe this Saturday. I've just not scheduled it yet. But putting together that top 10 was difficult. I mean, a couple of my favorite movies that came out that, I mean, Terrifier 2 is definitely on that list. It's not number one, but it's definitely on that list. I like that movie a lot. That was so much fun. There's a movie I watched recently called Bull. It's a revenge movie, and I love that movie so much. That movie's going to be on the list for sure. And it's not a horror movie, but a kind of horror-ish. So it's kind of not my favorite horror movie list, but just my favorite movies of 2022 list, period. But there's some good ones on there. There's some mainstream ones, and there's some more obscure ones, and nice little mixture of both. So I saw Nick's list I think he put that out last night or night before.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh, and by the way, Jeremy loves squishies. There is not a room in my whole house that it's like he strategically leaves squishies in different areas so that he's always got a squishy near him. And so I find myself like picking up his squishies and I'll be squishing them too, like all the time. But there's like squishies hit. It's kind of like what's the house mother's name? The house mother from Black Christmas who hid booze all over the house.
In a toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, he hides his squishies all over the house. So like here's this one, here's this one, here's a jack-o'-lantern I found a little while ago. And I brought it over here. There's just squishies everywhere.
Mm.
But yeah.
That's funny. I'm like that with Coke cans. I leave these everywhere in the house. I'm like the girl from Signs, except it's just Coke. So I don't know if that would have killed aliens. Probably, since it's a lot more acidic.
It's got a little water in it. Yeah, it's got a little water in it.
Oh man. All right, so let's see. Piz, we'll take some questions. Saturn Video asked, do you have any tips for lighting physical media shelves? Like what brands to get and how do you set them up? That's actually, I've been meaning to ask you that too, because when you do your videos, you've got really good lighting and we don't see the lights. We don't know how you place them, distance, what kind of lights you're using, that kind of thing.
When it comes to lighting the shelves, if you're lighting them just to make them look nicer, I mean, you can always use, some string lights, those LED string lights. If you're lighting them for a video, I mean, there's a lot of different options. But I mean, yeah, like LED lights, they're a big thing. And I've definitely got my share. I like that. I like that aesthetic, that aesthetic. But if you want the specific ones that I have, feel free to message me on social media and I'll send you direct links to the ones that I own.
There you go. That horror critic asked, Piz, what is the rarest autograph in your collection? Could be someone who doesn't sign a lot or has passed. Mine is Paul Rudd on an H6 photo.
Oh, that's cool. Wow. Paul Rudd on a Halloween 6 photo. I guess it would have to be George Romero on my Dawn of the Dead poster. And of course I've got a Danny Steinman signed A New Beginning poster. He's also no longer with us. Other than that, I don't know about rare ones or from people who don't sign many posters or go to conventions. Clive Barker's done some conventions, but I sent some posters through his manager and got him to sign those. And but yeah, I think probably the most valued would be that Romero one. I was fortunate to get that one signed by Romero just a couple of years before he passed away.
That's probably my biggest regret, is not just sucking it up and waiting in line to see him at Texas Frightmare.
See, he was at Scarefest one year and I don't remember why, but I couldn't go. And I remember thinking, damn, that was probably my opportunity. So when he came back, I
do what you had to do.
I did what I had to do and I got it done. So I would have loved to have gotten Angus Scrim on my Phantasm poster. He was supposed to be at Scarefest with Don Coscarelli and Reggie Bannister and some of the other Phantasm folks, but he had to cancel because of his health, and he actually passed away later that year. So I would have loved to have met him, and because I just never heard a bad thing said about him.
No. I was going to mention, I was watching, there's a Kane Hodder documentary that just came out. Well, I say just came out. It's maybe a few years old. I forgot what it's called, but it's the Kane Hodder story.
I've seen that one.
And it was either in that or something else. It might have even been on a podcast. I could be wrong, but regardless, he mentioned the rarest autograph you can get from me, and he's referencing himself, is if you have one that just says Kane Hodder with it. Because after I did the first movie, then I would put Kane Hodder, Jason 7, 8, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because my wife got me, when we first started dating, a Gore Zone New Blood poster magazine. And sure enough, I looked at it, and it's just got his name on it. So that means he must have signed that magazine right when it came out, when Part 7 was released. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can necessarily call that rare, but I just thought that was pretty damn neat.
That is a really good documentary about him, because if people don't know about him, how he got those burn scars, it's a harrowing story of all the treatment that he went through, and a lot of it was not. I mean, he was poorly treated. But it just sounds like makes it excruciating. Many years of his life.
Yeah. Let's see.
You've got me looking at one of my old Kane Hodder autographs, and it says Kane Hodder Jason, and that's it.
That might be an old one too. Or is that
That
one you
one's
bought, or?
no, I got that from him at Fright Night Film Fest. I think maybe 2009, 2010. I think somewhere.
Dalton asked, do you think if Vinegar Syndrome can keep getting these bigger titles, they will take over Scream Factory and Arrow?
I think they already have taken over Scream Factory and Arrow as far as brand loyalty. Vinegar Syndrome's become the anchor bay of today. People will buy anything Vinegar Syndrome releases just because it's Vinegar Syndrome. And I mean, they've worked hard to create that kind of loyalty. And I mean, here's the yes, some of the movies they release are just god awful. But I kind of, they're the company that'll take a really bad movie and give it an incredible release because they know somebody out there likes this movie.
Mhm.
But then they turn around and they release a movie like Spookies. They give Spookies just an incredible release, or Invisible Maniac, Evil Laugh. I mean, Rad, for God's sake. Look, I mean, that Beastmaster release they did is unbelievable. I mean, they're the only company that's really putting that kind of. They're thinking of the collector first, I think. And I think Second Sight Films is making they're certainly making their mark, because they're putting out they're releasing a lot of great movies, but then also just really rolling out the red carpet for them with these great limited edition releases. But
Yeah.
I think Vinegar Syndrome's already overtaken them as far as popularity and brand loyalty.
Are they your favorite company?
I guess at this point now, yeah, because when I hear that they're putting out something new, I do get excited, because you don't know, is it going to be a Texas Chainsaw 2 4K, or is it going to be some movie nobody's ever heard of 4K? That's totally awful. You know what I mean? You don't know. You don't know.
It's either going to be Texas Chainsaw 2 or like The Dirty Dog from 1981.
Right.
Shot on Super 8.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't know until it happens.
It's almost like the old Monday Night Wars, man. You never know who's coming out. You never know who's coming out tonight, who's swapping from company to company. It's whenever those Vinegar Syndromes drop, it's like it could be anything.
It could be anything. You never. I think that's part of why people like them too. It's like you never know what you're going to get with them. You could get a big A-list release or something DEF list.
I wanted to get your take, and don't worry, guys. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get this out before I forget to Piz. I'm going to do your questions too. I think about what Vinegar Syndrome could put out, especially with the caliber of movies that they've done. I was going to tell you what I would absolutely adore that they would do, and I didn't know if maybe you had of a film that you think could be perfect for them. I actually think that Vinegar Syndrome could do a just kind of like the Roadhouse release style, give it a nice roll out the red carpet for it. I think that they would absolutely do justice to Bloodsport better than any company, and I think that movie would really benefit from a Vinegar Syndrome special edition rollout.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
could see
mean?
that. I could see that. Yep, I could see them. I could see them doing the same thing for Bloodsport that they did to like Beastmaster. You know?
hmm
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you have any movie that you can think of that would be like, you know what, they would be perfect for that? Whether it be a title maybe Scream Factory licensed before that, like,
Mm.
could you see them doing Day of the Dead?
Yeah, I could see them doing I could see them doing an incredible Day of the Dead release. I was thinking about stuff that hadn't been released yet. Like I could see them doing a killer um uh cheerleader camp release. Like you get like a pair of pom poms with it, like blood splattered pom poms with it or something. Um, they could do a killer release for that one. Um,
That's a title people want to own anyway at this point.
yeah. That's one I hear about a lot that people really want. Um, I was thinking of some other ones that I mean, whatever they do, if it's a big enough name, they're gonna roll out the red carpet for it.
Mm. Daily Ghost asks, does Jeremy watch Piz's videos that he doesn't feature in? I always wonder if he watches Piz's late night streams the next day or so. I have a guess. Can I guess?
Sure.
He ain't got no time to watch your videos.
No, he doesn't even watch the ones that he's in. Jeremy spends his time. Jeremy is the ultimate multitasker because he'll be watching a show on his television. He'll have 3 or 4 books open in front of him on his bed, and he'll be listening to music on his iPad all at the same time. So, yeah, that's him. I'll walk into his room and he's TV on, watching whatever, reading, like I said, 3 or 4 books open in front of him and the iPad blasting Soundgarden or Smashing Pumpkins or Alice in Chains or something.
I gotta say, me and Sydney I don't think you truly understand how hard we laughed when you're sitting in the car with him and you're going through the rundown of the books he got this one day, and he bought I can't even say it. He bought baby names in American culture or something. You're telling me he read that?
I mean, what compelled him to get that? I have no idea, but
Didn't he get herbs and spices in
he
pharmaculture or something?
he did. Yeah, he got a book about herbs and spices one time. He got a book about
Baby names and herbs and spices.
about like doing crafts. He got like a craft book one day. Which, I mean, I don't know, maybe he's broadening his horizons. He wants to know about herbs and spices. He wants to know about, crafting. The baby names one, why he wanted that one, I have no idea.
Dude, now do you stop him and say, Jeremy, do you really need that? Or that's what he wants? That's what he wants.
Sometimes I do. Most of the time I don't. You got to keep in mind too that some stuff Jeremy buys or he wants me to buy is intended to be a joke that he plays on mom. Because he knows that, like, mom hates, for instance, Everybody Loves Raymond, that show.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy will want to get her something Everything Loves Raymond related. So he can literally take it to her and shove it right in her face and laugh while she reacts to it. That's what he does. So, when I got him the Teletubby costume for Halloween last year, he said, "Show mom." That was one of the first things he said. Show mom, because he knows mom thinks those things are creepy and weird, and she's not a fan. So when I get him dressed up. We walk down to her place. We go in the house. We sneak upstairs. She's standing in the kitchen with her back turned. Jeremy creeps up behind her and just stands there, waiting with a grin on his face. She turns around. She screams. She goes, "Oh my God!" Jeremy laughed like you. He has such. He has kind of a morbid, dark sense of humor. He really does.
God, you need to get
And
that
he
on video.
and he loves to mess with mom like that. He loves to hear her go, "Oh my God." He cracks up. He's so funny.
Oh man.
So funny.
Oh geez, that's good. We had a question about Jeremy. Do you know this? What was Jeremy's favorite horror movie of 2022? Is it Halloween Ends, maybe?
I don't know. It's a good question. I'd have to ask him. I think he enjoyed Halloween Ends. He enjoyed Scream. I'm trying to think what else we went to the theater to watch together last year. I'd say it's probably one of those two, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he's excited for Megan. He wants to go watch Megan this weekend, so
That can't be good.
we may try and sneak out and watch it. I think it's going to be, I hope it's going to be like just goofy, ridiculous fun. Because Jeremy, like even when Jeremy talks about it, he's like female Chucky. So, whatever she like when she's killing people or she's being mean to people, he'll sit and laugh about that.
Mm.
So,
the only reason I want to pull this question up because I really just want to know if it's changed at all. What's your number one favorite horror movie?
no, I mean it's still Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And are you do you own that movie on 4K? I know it's gotten a couple German releases.
No, I don't have any of those. I do have the Dark Sky one pre-ordered, and I don't know the Second Sight one is. I'm sure it's going to be killer too. I don't know,
Is
but
that
I've got
something you're fine with double dipping on? You think, or just depends, maybe?
I guess it just depends, really. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want at least. I have to have at least one copy of it in 4K.
Did you pre-order the steelbook version, or did you pre-order the slip cover with the poster art on the actual case itself? The zoomed in eye.
Let me see. I've got it pulled up here. Actually, I think it's just that. I think it's the zoomed in eye one. Let me double check though.
Yeah, it seems like the way to go, especially from an artwork standpoint, because the steelbook is the poster art, and if you get the one with the slip cover, the poster art is on the case.
Yeah, it's the slip cover with the zoomed in eye, and yeah.
It looked like there's a new documentary.
Yeah,
2022.
Yep, there is a new documentary on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever change your mind, or do you even like? I know this is a weird question to ask, but like, do you ever want? Do you almost not want to have your mind ever changed? Like you have such an affinity for Texas Chainsaw Massacre that for it to be taken out of your favorite horror movie ever, it's gonna have to. Is that an insurmountable task for any horror movie to do that at this point?
I don't know. Probably, yeah, probably insurmountable because it's been my favorite for so long. I don't see that ever changing.
I mean, what movie could ever replace your parents fearing you seeing this this atrocity that you can't see this, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I heard Joe Bob Briggs say that Texas Chainsaw Massacre was banned on television in the UK up until the year 2000. It's remarkable.
That's probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, that movie still
Not a drop of blood.
Yeah, yeah.
How about it?
I don't know. It's so I mean that's a testament to how great it is.
Yeah. let's see. People are talking about From Beyond coming to Vinegar Syndrome. Were you a little surprised by that one, or do you think that that sounds about right?
Um, I, I think they do a great addition for it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We'll take a few more questions. Let's see what we got here. Let me scroll down here. Here's one from Joe Reese. Piz, I watched an old video of you counting down your favorite villains. Heath Ledger's Joker was your favorite. Is that still the case? And has your opinion on his performance changed any?
Gosh, I don't even remember that video. Um, I mean, that was no. I mean, I still think that was a brilliant performance. I'd have to think about it. I mean, if that's still my favorite, I can't. None other jumps off. Leaps to mind. So, but thoughts on that performance? No, it's not changed. I'd have to go back and rewatch that video. I don't even remember that video.
Do you ever look back on your old videos and almost contemplate like deleting some out of them just out of cringe? God knows I do.
Uh, I just don't. I just try not to look back. Every now and again, like one will pop up, and like there was one I watched recently. Gosh, what was it? I don't even remember. But I was actually surprised how little cringe there was in that one. But I just choose not to go there.
Let's see. This is a good one. Wild Wrangler asks, Piz, what is your favorite VHS film from the series?
Part two. Part two is
Oh.
my favorite.
The Cult.
Yeah, I like pretty much every segment or vignette in that one. I thought was really good.
Yeah. I remember when I first watched that one, I was like, here we go. This zombie thing with the kid riding the bike. And it ended up being, I thought, pretty damn good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every one of those I think are really good. Yeah. And the Cult one, I think that's the last one. That one's really good.
No business being that good.
Yeah.
Have you been up to date on VHS 94, and then what did we just get? VHS 99?
Yeah,
That just came out?
The very last one, I didn't like it as much as some of the others. There were a couple of good stories in it, but overall I was just kind of like, with it. In 94, I don't remember 94 at all.
I thought there was a standout in 94. It was the girl who was hosting the funeral service room.
Oh, that's right. I remember. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one.
I thought that was good.
Oh, this is the one that's got the Ratma. Yes, yeah. I loved the Ratma one. I liked the Wake one. Let's see. Then there was the Subject.
There's like some kind of like virus breakout thing, if memory serves. I could be wrong, but the first two segments pretty much took the wind out of me after that. So whatever happened after that 94, I wasn't too high on, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So I liked 94. 99 I thought it was okay. But yeah, that's kind of like, I like the first one. I really like the second one.
Viral.
The third one they did.
I think it's the least praised by most.
Yeah. Didn't like that one at all. And but I thought 94 was a nice little return to form. In 99 it's okay.
And I believe that they're doing 85 now.
Okay. All right.
So let's see. Nick, it's not a question, but Nico says he watches your old videos like comfort food. Don't delete them.
Okay. All right. I'll keep them up for Nico.
Oh, what's up, Ken? How you doing? Ken, I remember, I don't know what this was about, but Ken became like the spokesman for Ratma. for some reason. Everything's Ratma with Ken. He loves Ratma.
Ratma, that one definitely stands out.
Here's a good question. How you doing, Ebert? He says, "Who is a slasher killer you're surprised isn't more iconic?"
Hmm. Cropsy comes to mind. Let's see.
That will go to Vinegar Syndrome. Mark my words.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. But Cropsy is one. Maybe
And the
maybe
shirt you're wearing too, that's going to Vinegar Syndrome too.
yeah, of course. The
town.
yeah, the Phantom. The
I
Phantom
love that
Killer.
movie so much.
Yeah. I guess maybe also the killer from the Prowler. I thought he had a good look, and his assortment of weapons was pretty cool. I see some people mentioning Harry Warden. I think Harry Warden has become pretty popular, it seems like. But yeah, we can throw Harry on the list too, sure. But yeah, I'd probably say Cropsy. Yeah, throw Madman on the list too. Madman's a fun slasher.
Yeah. Colin asks, "What's your favorite prized possession from your TCM collection?" Probably your Gunnar Hansen autograph, huh?
Yeah, I think it's probably the Gunnar. I've got a couple of things signed by Gunnar. So those would definitely be prized. Those would be the most prized.
Piz, that's a poster you need, man. Town that Dreaded Sundown, and I'm thinking about it.
I've looked into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just not found one in the right price range.
What the hell size was that Madman you had? You said it was too big.
Yeah, like I don't know. It won't. It won't fit in those the pages. It's like it's just that much too big. I don't know. It's weird. Maybe they when they cut it, they did. I don't know.
How are we going to stand out with our little low budget slasher film? Make the posters bigger.
Yeah, make them just that much bigger.
Oh man. Really quick, Piz, I wanted to ask you, are you into collecting VHS or anything like that? Because I found a Wizard big box the other day at Goodwill, and I'm not really big into. I have VHS tapes. I don't get them, but I mean, you see something like that, you grab it. Are you casual
sure.
like that too, or?
Oh yeah. Like I was in a Goodwill a couple of years ago, and I found like a brand new, like Nightmare on Elm Street VHS tape. Like even the tabs on the top and bottom had like never been opened. It's like brand freaking new.
Gotta rescue that, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get that. Gotta have that. So I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a VHS collector, but like if I spot a cool VHS like that in the wild, sure, I gotta get it.
Piz, who is a slasher you think is just overrated?
Overrated.
I got a guess for you. I feel like I'm answering your questions for you, but I think you're gonna say, and it's really a weird answer. I kind of think you would go with just the Ghostface character.
I mean, that's what I was gonna go with, honestly. Yeah.
I've been watching you for a long time. I can answer these questions for you.
So yeah, not that I mean, I think that look is good. I like that look. I don't know. For me, I love that first movie, but
they got to shake it up, man. I'm with you. We gotta
shake it up. The second, third, and fourth one, I'm just not that big on. Scream 5 was okay until toward the end. And I mean, they can't keep doing the same old Scooby-Doo episode over and over again.
Well, Piz, 6 words for you. New York has a new problem.
Yeah, I hope their idea of shaking things up isn't, let's just put it in New York, but we'll do the same old thing over again.
but they're taking a train to New York from like I don't know Jersey or something. So half the movie's gonna be a train. They're gonna do a boat. They're gonna do a train, or
Yeah.
subway. They're gonna be a subway. Half the movie's gonna be on a
Half the movie will be on that subway train. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that I don't know. I'm glad that they're still making them, I guess, but I don't know. I want to see something different. That it's just been color by numbers with that series ever since the first one. It seems like I don't know.
That's what I keep saying, man. I feel like the sequels are a little antithetical to what the first movie is. It changed the
Yeah,
game, it broke the rules, it did something new and different, and then all the sequels are basically this exactly what the first movie is.
yeah,
That doesn't
yeah,
mean I necessarily dislike them,
yeah,
but you know, let's put in some different ingredients this time. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Let's leave the legacy characters alone. Let's I don't know.
I'm Team Jenna Ortega now. I watched that Wednesday show and I just fell in love with her. I thought she was fantastic in that. I thought she was great in X. She's got another
Mm,
movie on I don't know if it's Hulu or something, but I think she's the real deal, you know.
mhm. I mean, she's a good actress, and I mean, she kind of is leaned into horror, and yeah, I mean, there's your future if you're going to do these more of these Scream movies. That's the future. Let's focus on the future and let's leave Sydney and Gail. You know,
What's
let's let
what's
them go. At some point, you know, at some point you got to go. Okay, so if you've been if you've had all these different people try to kill you in a ghost face outfit, at what point do you just move to the Ozarks and change your name? You know what I mean? Like,
There's a lot of crazy shit going on in the Ozarks too. Have you seen that? A lot of
but yeah,
drugs.
yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know. I just, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I hate when they bring in the legacy characters just to kill them, as if they're making this statement of, oh, well, they can survive all those ghost faces, but our ghost face is the real deal. Like, just shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Amen. All right, Piz, we'll take a few more. Let's see what we've got. Um, Wild Wrangler. We kind of talked about this earlier, but he asked again, do you have any collection space advice? I think me and you probably need the advice.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I think if I was starting over, what I would do is, like, if you're gonna display something, it needs to be display worthy. Like, you know, like I used to have like a big pyramid of Funko Pops. And who cares about Funko Pops? I mean, unless you've got like some unless you've got like a vaulted brand new in the box old Funko Pop that's $100, display that. But you know, so I think it's quality over quantity. Um, and I would say, you know, let it breathe. Let your collection have some breathing room. You don't want it to look like a hoarding situation.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's get the last question here. Uh, this this ain't the question I'm gonna go with, but it's too funny not to bring up. What shampoo and conditioner do you use? Your hair looks magnificent.
Oh, well, thank you, Swaggy. I there's two different kinds I use. But I prefer, what's it called? I forget the brand name. It's in a purple bottle. It's in a purple bottle, and it's volumizing. But it also leaves the hair just with this very sleek, shiny appearance. And it's also pretty kind of expensive, but it's in a purple bottle. I can't believe I've forgotten what it's called. It's not Pert Plus. No, I don't know. It'll come to me at some point, but go to Walmart, look for the purple bottle. It's like $8 a bottle, but I mean, look, you get this gorgeous, you get this, you know, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed you've been keeping the hair fairly long. Is it one of those things where you're that's the way you feel comfortable now? Because that's how I kind of got. I've had my hair long now for I'd say since about 2020, long-ish. You know, my hair's, you know, And it's just how I feel comfortable. I don't like the way I look with really short hair anymore. Are you the same way, or you just
Um, I don't know. I mean, I just kind of like the longer look, honestly. Um, yeah, I mean, I like the longer look. I like the facial hair, and and actually, it's funny because we were talking about Mutilator 2 earlier. When I showed up to Mutilator 2, there was like this debate over should we have him shave or not. So like there was this back and forth of does he shave or does he not? Like there like that would turn that like that was like a thing. And finally Buddy goes, just shave. Are you okay with shaving? And I was like, whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, I'll do it. So he was okay, just shave. So like that turned into like a thing. But yeah, that was the last time I actually shaved, or was fully clean shaven was when I made that movie.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I just like longer hair on the head, longer hair on the face, you know. So
Mm. All right, I just wanted really quick. I wanted to get to this, and we talked about Evil Dead earlier. Um, I wanted to see. I had a few, not even reservations about the trailer for the film, but it's just like this is different. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first Evil Dead film that's going to have an actual child involved?
mm,
That's something I'm.
I think so. Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's not something. It's I wouldn't say I'm excited or nervous about it. I just don't know how that's going to affect the scare factor in a way, or if the movie's going to meet us halfway in terms of how gory or scary it can be. You know what I mean?
Well, one thing that I kind of like about this new Evil Dead is that they are trying something a little different with it.
Right.
Like, you don't have it's not a remake of the first movie. You don't have Ash. It's just here these people found the Necronomicon. The Necronomicon doesn't even look like the Necronomicon from the other movies.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I
That's
don't
the
know.
other thing I noticed.
Yeah.
It's just like a dirty old book.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I think I liked the look of the trailer looked really good. It looked dark. It
Yeah.
looked mean and scary, but not but still with that kind of Evil Dead, not as playful, but maybe we'll get that when the movie comes out. I don't know, but I do like the fact that they are doing something at least a little bit different with the whole Evil Dead thing. That's
Yeah.
what I'd like them to do with Scream, or if they bring back, when they eventually bring back Halloween, it'll be something to that effect. Or when they eventually do a new Nightmare on Elm Street, or the Sean Cunningham Friday the 13th, that it's something. It feels like what came before, but it's
It's new. Yeah. It's
it's
new.
new. Yeah.
Justin Movie Watch Daily made a video about this something that I'm really passionate about, and obviously you are as well, being a big poster fan. I find it sad that we went from Army of Darkness, which is still my favorite,
Mm.
having three, not one, not two, three gorgeous theatrical posters upon its release. There was this beautiful UK quad where it's blue, and there's this Ash on there, and he's got some kind of, and then they have the red one where Ash has got his hands in the air, and Bill Moseley's at the top, and then there's obviously the National Lampoon Vacation riff off of the Vacation poster. We went from how and why have we gone from that era to shoving the people's face just in front of a rectangle and calling it a theatrical poster?
I think it's probably just cheaper and easier to have some intern, whip it up on Photoshop than to actually hire an artist to paint, or to create artwork. I think it's just a matter of time, and we've got Tommy, the intern. Let's put him to work. Do you know Photoshop? Okay, there you go. And just it's really shocking how what poster art for a lot of movies look like these days. Like, I was making fun of the Halloween Ends one in that recently, the one with Michael and Laurie standing back to back, that doesn't even look like it's for a Halloween movie.
It's pretty.
That looks like a buddy cop movie or something. And they went perfect. That's exactly what we want. Like, oh,
and she's as tall as him.
and she's as tall as him, and they're standing back to back like they're partners or they're friends or something. It just doesn't make sense, and it's ugly, and it's
What the hell's going on?
Somebody took, or like that Morbius poster they did. My God, that thing was hideous, and it was so busy, and there's just stuff going on everywhere. It's a Photoshop nightmare.
You got to wonder if there's no levity in the poster market anymore in terms of what it does for box office sales or things like that, especially with physical media nowadays. I mean, Charlie made a career out of being Vinegar Syndrome before Vinegar Syndrome was Vinegar Syndrome. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a massive Full Moon fan, but he got Pablo Picasso to do the art for Robot Wars, and it's millions of people rented it on VHS. I just wonder maybe if there's no levity in going that route, because the Halloween posters are a great example. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're bad, but Jesus Christ, look at what they used to do pre H2O. These beautiful, I mean, they were simple still, but I mean, how iconic is that? I mean, that pumpkin, like the Halloween 2 pumpkin. I mean, it's like, you think I'm getting Halloween Ends tattooed on me or the Halloween Kills post? No, I've got the jack-o'-lantern. It's just, I miss it, man. I miss it so much.
And some of it might be, I don't know, like they feel like they've got to have like the faces of the stars, like right in in every inch of the poster has to have like here's the star's face, and here's everybody's face, like as some sort of selling point or something. I don't know, like even like this Scream 5 poster. It's just every character in the movie is on that freaking poster. Like, why do we need every character in that movie on the freaking poster? All we need is Ghostface. Do we need Nev? No. All we need is Ghostface on the poster. But they literally put every character in the freaking movie's face on that poster. Like, is it something that a contractual obligation? Is it that they just feel like if we don't put what's his name in the corner, people won't know he's in the movie and won't come and see it? I don't. It's awful.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Scream poster, not the one that just came out where it's like a neon map that looks like ghosts, but the one before it. I liked it because it wasn't symmetrical. The image of Ghostface is a little bit down and to the left. The door for the subways, like it looked un-Hollywood, I guess, and I thought that was a step in the right direction. But anyway, Piz, look, I don't want to keep you too much longer, man. So 2023 is here. What do we have to look forward to? What what is Pizowell planning on the channel? Do you have any big things you're scheduling right now, or is a lot of it up in the works? Is it what do we have going on?
As far as things that are done, I've not it's not like I'm going to do the Bloodstream with Buddy Cooper next Wednesday. I've not announced it, or I've not got it's scheduled yet, but it's going to happen next Wednesday at 8 p.m. So that'll be fun. Get to talk to him about Mutilator 2 and what have you. Jeremy and I are going to do a live commentary for Friday the 13th, part 4 on Friday the 13th. I'm probably going to be doing my top 10 of the year live stream on this Saturday. Other than that, I mean, I'm always looking into bloodstream guests and talking to either them directly or like managers to try and get things scheduled. And, you know, the way it goes is you reach out to 5 or 10 people and you get lucky with 1 or 2. So that's just kind of how that goes. But other than that, I mean, as far as plans for the year, I mean, again, I'm not a planner. I've never
Right.
been much of a planner. So I just, you know, just want to continue having fun and hopefully entertaining people. And, you know, I mean, that's it.
Let's end it with this. Is this the year that Nightmare on Elm Street gets upgraded physical media or not? Just give me your guess.
Yes. I think this is the year we're going to either get a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie, or we're going to get a new Nightmare on Elm Street movie announced, and we're going to get that Blu-ray box set, or potentially a 4K box set. I think that's happening this year.
I don't know if it was a Freudian slip, but when you said Friday, we are definitely going to get more Friday stuff this year, and that's why I love Paramount.
We're definitely going to get a lot more Friday stuff this year.
Got the Steelbook coming up, man, for the final chapter.
We got more physical media stuff from Friday the 13th coming out. We're going to hear more about that TV series. I think we're going to hear about the Sean Cunningham movie soon. So
Part 2 4K, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a pretty I think it'll be another good year for horror this year. Are there any horror movies you're looking forward to this year?
Absolutely. Without any hesitation question, I have placed all my bets on Renfield being the most insanely cool movie we're going to see with Nicolas Cage as Dracula.
I'm looking forward to that one too. Nicolas Cage as Dracula, and not just Nicolas Cage as Dracula, but that Dracula that we saw the photos of from the set.
Hammer style. Just, Oh my God. Are you kidding me? That's supposed to be coming out in April from Universal.
Good.
You know?
Yeah, bring it on.
I'm excited for Maxine. I'm excited for the Cocaine Bear, which I'm sure everybody is. You know, maybe if this is a success, Piz will get the Heroin Hog.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And this is Ray Liotta's last film that we're going to see him in. So yeah, I think you're right. I think I'd like to not have the rut kick in quicker rather than later, because sometimes it happens with horror. But if we keep support, you know, I'll never forget the Rings fiasco, and that being the death of a Friday the 13th movie. So I try to make an effort to go see everything, even Megan, which I'd be willing to bet my mortgage it's gonna suck. I just doesn't look good to me, but I'm probably gonna see it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good, silly, fun.
Well, I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too. I hope it's I hope I'm right.
Yeah, but Maxine for sure. You know, Maxine's gonna be cool. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a good year. I'm excited. And physical media, hopefully we get some announcements. There was 2 things. Last thing I want to mention. One person asked if Halloween Rob Zombie's 4Ks do get announced, do you plan on purchasing them?
Maybe part 2.
Okay. What is it? I now I just want to ask you this before we get off. Do you own anything that you know was a 4K that was shot on 16 mil? I mean, I'm sure I have seen something, but I've been trying to think about that because of Texas Chainsaw coming out on 16. And wasn't that even Super 16 that they shot Texas Chainsaw on? Or was that just 16 regular?
See, I don't know, to be honest. Well, I wonder what I'm trying to think back to Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, what that was shot on.
I think that was Super.
Okay.
I love that movie, by the way.
Oh yeah. But I don't know about anything in 16. And I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of reviews and plenty of talk about that Chainsaw 4K when it comes out.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Yeah, everybody's excited. People are excited for Maxine. They're excited for Evil Dead Rise. They're excited for the Cocaine Bear,
Oh
the
yeah.
Salem's Lot remake.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be hard to top the one with Rob Lowe, man. I mean, how do you top Rob Lowe?
That one's actually pretty good.
Amen.
That one's actually pretty good. Yeah.
Saw. People are excited for Saw.
Saw.
Are you excited for Saw? Or are you a little tired?
I don't know if I'll see it in the theater.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll see it in the theater.
I just think the kills. I think Terrifier 2 set a new precedent. I think that Saw needs to have grisly kills, or not kills. Excuse me, traps. Like I need to see body parts ripped off. In this one. But I think it's taking place between 2 and 3, so it's a.
It's a prequel.
I guess so. How much stuff has John Kramer done that we don't know about yet? How many more people has he been involved with that we still don't know about?
If this one makes money, I'm sure we'll find out that there was a lot of things that happened between 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 and
Yeah. Anyway, this was fun. What a hell of a way to start off the year. Piz, it's always great doing our yearly. I know we skipped last year, but I enjoy the yearly interview.
Yeah, this was fun. It's always a good time.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. Please drop a like on the show before you check out. I would appreciate that. Be ready, guys. Have that bell dinged on Piz's channel. Be ready. He's got some great stuff. Support Mutilator 2. When I get more information about that, follow the Mutilator 2 social media pages. Be ready for the video with Piz and the director coming up. And let's have a good 2023. Let's make it good and not hope it's good. Let's do our effort and make it a good year.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go, guys. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great night.